Fear of speaking English and fear of making mistakes are something that everyone is facing these days. Now I am going to tell you in this video how you can overcome this fear of speaking in English. I am going to give you a 5-step process that has worked for me and it's going to work for you for sure. Now how do you know it has worked for me? See, if it hadn't, I wouldn't be speaking English in front of you. Now you think I didn't have fear? I also had tremendous fear of speaking in English. I also used to be scared that if I make mistakes, people would laugh at me. But we have to do something about it. If we don't face this fear today, this will keep increasing. So understand this 5-step process and try to implement it the way I'm going to tell you. You will see a major difference in your spoken English. So my name is Meenu. You're watching me on Meenu English. I give you regular content on spoken English and communication skills. I have a Facebook page and Instagram account as well. You can follow me there also. Let's dive into the video. So let's first understand why do you have this fear, and I will make you understand that this fear is just psychological. See, first of all, stop thinking that you are inferior to people who are speaking in English. You know why? Because English is not your native language. When you were born, you were being raised in a family where everyone used to speak in Hindi. So how could you have learned English, right? It is a second language and it's not easy to learn a second language. And you are still trying hard. Now let's say a foreigner comes to our country. Let's say he lives in England, right? And he has been speaking English since childhood and he was raised in a family where English was spoken. So he has been speaking English since childhood. Now he comes to India and now he is learning Hindi. So will he not make mistakes? Is it possible that he learns Hindi without any mistakes? He will make mistakes, definitely. Mistakes are our best friends because without mistakes you can't learn anything. Tell me one thing that you learned without mistakes and you became perfect in just one go. You can't, because it is impossible. Did you learn cooking without making mistakes? Did you learn driving without making mistakes? No, it's not possible. We make mistakes, we learn from them. We make more mistakes, we learn more. And that is the way to learn everything in life, right? When this foreigner is learning Hindi and he speaks even a single sentence like Namaste, Aap kaise ho? You say, look at him, he speaks Hindi so well, you appreciate him so much. And when he makes mistakes, you ignore them and you say to yourself, obviously he will make mistakes. He is not from our country. He is still trying hard to learn Hindi. It's not easy to learn Hindi. When you can ignore his mistakes, why can't you ignore your mistakes? And let me tell you, 99% of the people are not going to laugh at you or make fun of you. They know that it's not easy to learn a new language, right? If someone comes to me today and he is speaking a sentence and tries to speak, and I know, and he also knows in his mind that I am not very good with the language, I will not laugh at him or make fun of him. In my mind, I will think, look at his confidence. He's still trying to speak English despite knowing that he is not very good. You tell me, if someone comes to you and speaks a few sentences of English, then would you laugh at him? You would also keep thinking that I also want to have that confidence. I also want to speak English. I'll tell you, you will ignore his mistakes and you will admire his confidence. When you can ignore his mistakes, why can't you ignore yours? Mistakes are important. You will have to make mistakes if you want to learn to speak this language. Have you seen Surf Excel ad? Daag अच्छे हैं. See, daag तो लगेंगे ही ना. How will the children grow if they stop playing? If they keep thinking that our clothes will be stained? It's a natural process of their growing up. They will stop growing up if they stop playing. And one thing, you think that people are thinking about you. They are not. They don't have time to think about you. They are busy thinking about their life, their goals, their ambitions. 99% people will not laugh at you, but those 1% who do will not think about you after a moment. They will stop thinking about you as soon as they leave. They will not remember you. You will have to do to overcome this fear. You will have to face your fear. Every day you postpone that. Every day you don't face your fear, you are increasing it. Let's say you go to a restaurant and you have promised yourself that I am going to speak in English, come what may, I have to speak in English today, and you go there. But when the time comes, you hide yourself somewhere, you hold yourself back, you don't push yourself, and what you get in return, you get a temporary relief. I have escaped from this situation, I am safe. But what is that? That's a temporary relief that you get. That's not going to solve this problem. That is increasing your fear further. Instead, if you had spoken just one sentence, you would have got a lot of confidence that if I can speak one sentence, I can say anything that I want to say. So today we are going to learn how you can overcome this fear by learning a 5-step process which has worked for me. Now listen to me and pay full attention and understand all these steps. Don't skip a single step if you want to overcome your fear, right? The first step, practice with yourself. You must be thinking that's a very simple step. Every English trainer says that. I'll give you the logic. First of all, you have to practice with yourself, but you have to speak aloud even when you are alone. I have uploaded so many videos and there are more than 10,000 sentences, and the playlist is called Daily Use English Sentences. When you learn sentences from that video, then practice with yourself and speak aloud so that you hear your voice. Read aloud when you read something, like if you are reading a newspaper or reading a story, then you have to read aloud. And when you are practicing sentences or watching the videos, you have to speak aloud. This will give you more confidence because you will hear yourself. Your senses will give a signal to your brain that yes, I can speak English, because you will hear yourself speaking English. Second step, practice in front of a mirror. Now you have to speak aloud in front of a mirror. Now what difference will it make? You will see yourself speaking English and you will hear yourself speak English. Two of your senses are getting the signal that you now speak English. These two steps are very important. So don't skip any step, right? You have to start practicing in your mirror. When you are very comfortable with these two steps, like you practice with yourself every day by speaking aloud, and then you practice with yourself in the mirror, and you are very comfortable now, you can speak some 10, 15 or 20 sentences in front of a mirror where you are speaking aloud. Now comes the third step. Now practice speaking English with a loved one or a close friend or a family member who will support you and will not make fun of you, right? You will start speaking small sentences with them and gradually increase the difficulty level. Like first you speak very simple sentences, then you can move on to speaking some difficult sentences. Or first, initially you are speaking some 2 sentences, then you can move on to have some long conversations. So gradually increase the difficulty level. This is the third step. You have to do it. You have to start speaking in English with your sister or your mother or your friend. Now you have to move to the step 4. Now start taking very small steps outside your comfort zone. So in these 3 steps you are very comfortable because nobody else was looking at you, nobody else was judging you. Now you will have to come out of your comfort zone, because it's not possible that you keep practicing with just your family members, just your close friends. Now I will make it easy for you. How? When you start practicing with other people, first of all what you can do is you start speaking on a phone call. Say just one sentence and then immediately start speaking in Hindi. That will not be very difficult. I'll give you an example. So let's say you pick up the phone and you want to order something, right? So you can say just one sentence and challenge yourself that I'll do it today. And you say just one sentence. Let's say you call Domino's Pizza, right? You just pick up the phone and say, is it Domino's Pizza? And after that, if you're not comfortable and you're shivering that I will not be able to speak when he starts speaking, then you come back to Hindi. Then you say that ki mujhe ye chahiye. Or you can write just one message on WhatsApp in English to someone, right? You're getting my point? So in this case, you are not in front of the other person. You are speaking English and starting with just 1 or 2 sentences, but you are not facing them directly. When you are comfortable with 1 or 2 sentences, then in the next conversation try 2-3 sentences. When you are very comfortable with the 4th step and you think you have done that some 10-15 times, then we move on to step 5. Now you have to go and talk to people in person. Now you have to go and talk to people in person. Now they will be in front of you. What you can do is you should start speaking to strangers. They will not judge you and make fun of you. In your first attempt, start speaking just one sentence. Like you can ask time. You can say what time is it? Kya time hua hai? What time is it? Or you can ask the directions, like You can say, do you know where this building is? Do you know where GIP mall is? And if you are not comfortable, come back to Hindi after that one sentence. That's possible. That's very much possible. As you become comfortable and start facing your fear, every day you will feel like speaking some 2-3 sentences. You will go to people and start talking in English. That will happen very soon, I am telling you. The same thing has happened with me. I used to talk, I used to make mistakes in front of people. Then I would come back home and think that this was a wrong sentence that I said. I used to feel embarrassed, but that is the way you can learn. You will have to make mistakes in order to learn something. If you follow this 5-step process as I have told you, you will definitely see improvement in a few months. I am telling you. This has worked for me. This will work for you, I promise. Yes, this is going to work for you, I promise. Just try doing it. I really want that your dream comes true. For that, you will have to take your first step and face your fear. I hope you liked this video. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up and share this video with your family members and friends and whoever you think is struggling to speak English. And consider subscribing also. That is how you support my channel. And if you want to see this kind of content and you want me to keep creating such good content for you, you have to subscribe to my channel, right? I'll see you in the next video. I'll again come up with a very nice video for you. And bye-bye. Take good care of yourself.